Chapter 4, Capitalization Errors. Rule 1. Capitalize the first word of every sentence and the first word after a colon if that word begins a complete sentence. Examples. Amanda has a career in Hawaii. That's a complete sentence. The memorandum to parents said, the new principal is Betty Omler. Okay, after the colon, there is a complete sentence. The new principal is Betty Omler is a complete thought. Rule 2. Capitalize the first word of every complete quotation. Do not capitalize the first word of an interrupted quote. Examples. The team, said the coach, will practice today. Notice how you do not capitalize the word will. Miss Moffat announced, all assignments are due on Friday. This one you do capitalize the first letter of the quote because that is a complete sentence. Rule 3. Capitalize the first word of each item in a list when each item is a complete sentence. Capitalize the first word of each item in an outline. Example. At the end of the class period, follow these steps. 1. Print and turn in your homework. 2. Turn off your computer. 3. Put away your textbook. Notice that all three of those are complete sentences. Rule 3 continued. An example of an outline. You have 1. Varieties of vegetation, and you have A. Western Hill Country, and B. Northern Plains area. Notice that only the first letter of these are capitalized. Rule 4. Capitalize all proper nouns, like names of specific persons, places, and things, and any adjective that is derived from a proper noun. For example, people like Alex, Maggie, Phil, Johnson. Or brands would be Kellogg's, Tide, and Ford. Company names, Starbucks, and Panera. Rule 4 continued. Specific courses like English or chemistry. Geographic regions and places like Africa, Middle East. Notice these are names of things. Religious groups like Lutheran, Jewish, Catholic. And references to a deity, God, Allah, Yahweh. Rule 5. Capitalize days of the weeks, months of the year, and holidays. Do not capitalize seasons. And use lowercase for A, M, and PM. Look at this and make sure it's lowercase period, lowercase period. Example. The exam is scheduled for October 22nd at 8 a.m. The new schedule for winter is finished. Notice how this is a season and it is not capitalized. This is a month and it is capitalized. The next holiday is President's Day. That is a specific holiday. Rule 6. Capitalize both parts of hyphenated words if they are proper nouns or proper adjectives. Do not capitalize prefixes or suffixes added to proper nouns. Example. The new student is Betty Keck O'Connor. The film is for German-speaking students. The ex-principal, Jefferson, had a retirement party. The Rancho High School, Etiwanda High School rivalry can be quite intense. Here we have a proper name. Here we have an adjective. Notice that German is capitalized, but speaking is not. Okay, X, and then we have Principal Jefferson. Principal Jefferson is the proper name, and these two are proper names of high schools. Notice, this is a side note. High school is not capitalized unless you have a name in front of it, like Rancho High School or Etiwanda High School. Rule 7. Capitalize words that show a family relationship when they appear alone or are followed by a personal name. Do not capitalize family relations preceded by a possessive pronoun. Examples. The class reunion was for Uncle Mike and Dad. The team manager is Cousin Josh. My sister got me the interview. So look at this. We have sister, but we don't have my sister Mary. If I said Sister Mary, it would be capitalized. And here we have Cousin Josh. Because we have a family relationship before the name, you have to capitalize the both of them. Same here, Uncle and Mike. Rule 8. Capitalize the title that comes before a name. However, do not capitalize the title that follows a name or is used in the place of a name unless it is the title of a high-ranking national, state, or international official, such as President, Secretary of State, or Governor. Rule 9. Capitalize titles in letters, addresses, and closing. Capitalize the first word, all nouns, and titles in a salutation of the letter. But capitalize only the first word of a complimentary close. Capitalize both letters of a state abbreviation. Remember, it's capital C, capital A for California, not capital C, little a. And look, there are no periods after this. Rule 9 continued. Examples. Mrs. Jessica Andre, child care manager. Mrs. is capitalized, Jessica and Andre, because that's her name. Child care manager is her title, that is also capitalized. Then we have Chaffey College, which is the name of a college, so both words need to be capitalized. 5885 Haven Avenue. Haven Avenue is the name of a street. It also needs to be capitalized. Rancho Cucamonga is the name of a city, and it needs to be capitalized. And notice the capital C, capital A for California. Now we have Dear Mr. Salazar, and we capitalize Dear because it's the first word, Mr. and Salazar because that's his name. When we get to the closing, which is yours truly, you have to capitalize only the first letter of that closing, which is yours. Then we have Melanie Merkley, department head. Melanie Merkley is a name, so you capitalize both of them, and department head is her title. Rule 11. Capitalize points of the compass when they refer to specific regions or are used as proper nouns. Do not capitalize points of the compass to indicate the direction or general locations. Examples. Next month, the choir will tour the West. The West is a specific region, so it needs to be capitalized. All 8 teams will compete in the Southern Region Tournament. Southern Region is a specific region, so you need to capitalize it. More examples. The summer school course includes visits to the Midwest. That is a specific region. It needs to be capitalized. The team will travel east of the first day of the trip. East is just a direction, and it does not need to be capitalized. Rule 12. Capitalize the first word and all important words in titles of literary and artistic works and in displayed headings. Do not capitalize articles, which are a, and the, conjunctions, which are and, but, or, nor, or as, and preposition containing 4 or fewer letters. Some examples are at, for, by, in, of, on, to, and with. Rule 12 continued. Examples. The winning theme was titled Maggie's Missing Mommy. That's a name of a title of a book. Please purchase the paperback book, Your Guide to Punctuation. That again is a name of a book. We are going to study the chapter, The Era of Ethnic Groups. That's a name of a chapter. And the library subscribes to the Hinton Times, the name of a paper. Rule 13. Capitalize a noun that precedes a figure or letter except for the common nouns such as line, page, sentence, and size. Examples. Place the instructions in Appendix G. The assignment begins on page 59. The sweatshirt should be size 14. you see that appendix precedes G, and it's the name of the appendix. So here on page and size, those are very common, so we do not capitalize them. Confuse and misuse words. A lot, and a lot. ALLOT is to allocate or distribute. For example, please allot 2 hours for our meeting. That means you need to allow that much. A lot, which is 2 words, means a large amount. Amanda's help made the job a lot easier. Now, when you spell it A-L-O-T with no space, that's just an incorrect spelling of a lot with a space. Confused and misused words. Among and between. Among is a comparison of 3 or more persons or things. Between is a comparison of only 2 persons or things. For example, distribute the work among your staff. That staff has at least 3 people or more. The goals will be divided between Alex and Ben. The reason why we use between is because there's only 2 people, Alex and Ben. Confused and misused words. Assistance and assistance. ASSISTANCE, assistance, means help. Assistants, spelled ASSISTANTS, are helpers. For example, your assistants helped us meet our deadline. That means your help helped us meet our deadline. Assistants, the other way. The assistants are in a meeting today at 3 p.m. That means the helpers are in a meeting today at 3 p.m.